This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning, Rabbi Sai, Erev Yom Tov. So we just want to learn something that's very important, but we'll try to keep it brief. We want to speak about the idea that Sukkos is Zman Simchasenu. We know that Pesach is Zman Cherusenu. Shavuos is Zman Matan Torasenu. Sukkos is Zman Simchasenu. Why is Sukkos more a Zman of Simcha than any other Yom Tov? Every single Yom Tov, you need to eat meat. You know, people have these milchik meals. All of a sudden, people come, dairyarians. But you have to eat meat on Yom Tov. It's a mitzvah d'oraisa to eat meat on Yom Tov. So you want to eat meat, so wake up early, eat milk. You want to eat milk, wake up early, eat milk. You got to eat meat on Yom Tov. You got to drink wine on Yom Tov. By the way, that's besides Kiddush. It has nothing to do with the Kiddush. I like grape juice. I like grape juice, make Kiddush on grape juice. But for wine, you're better off drinking the wine. Anyway, so every Yom Tov is a Zman of Simcha. By the way, Chol Hamoed possibly included. So in what way is Sukkos more a Zman of Simcha than any other Yom Tov? The truth is, by Sukkos, the Torah says Simcha 3 times. It says, Usmachtem lefnei Hashem lekeichem. It says, V'samachta b'chagecha. It says, V'hayisa ach sameach. 3 times it says Simcha. By Pesach, it doesn't say Simcha at all. By Shavuos, it says Simcha 1 time. We learn out from Sukkos to all the Yom Tovim, or even from Shavuos to all the Yom Tovim, midst of Simcha. Why, in what way, what element of Simcha is there on Sukkos more than any other Yom Tov? So Pashup Shat, the Levush writes in Simon Tafresh Membeis, that Sukkos is a time of harvest. So you're raking it in, Pesach, you're planting. So imagine if a guy has a few bucks. He spent all his money on seeds. He's saying, this is crazy. I have, let's say, $10,000 to my name. I'm spending it on seeds. I'm taking the seed, I'm putting it in the ground, it's decomposing in the ground. I'm losing every penny I have. It's not such a happy time. Actually, we could say that's why it doesn't say Simcha at all by Pesach. Because that's, you're planting then. So it's actually, it's a very difficult time. But you have Emunah. That's why Zraim is called Emunah, right? V'hoise Emunah sitecha. To plant, you have to have Emunah. I mean, here I have food. I'm going to destroy it. I have Emunah. Something bigger is going to grow. Shavuos, so then you're reaping it. You're cutting it. But you're not bringing it into the house yet. Sukkos is, you're cashing in. So the Pashup Shad is, Sukkos is the Zman HaSifa El Habayis, and people are happy. So they say, yeah, but I work on the stock market. I'm a physician. Whatever. Sukkos has no relevance to me. But that's the Pashup Shad. Sukkos is the Zman Asifa. That's what the Levush writes. Rabbi Yaakov Emden writes that. Rabbi Yaakov Emden gives 5 reasons why there's a mitzvah of Simcha on Sukkos. Reason number 1 is it's time of gathering in the produce. Reason number 2, this is brought in the drashos of Rabbi Hoshua ibn Shva'ib. It's also mentioned by Rabbi Yaakov Emden, and that is you get Slichu Mechila on Yom Kippur. The whole year you're walking around with major credit card debt. Nobody likes to have debt. It's not comfortable to have debt. People feel a lot of pressure when they're under the gun and they have debt. So the rest of the year it's hard to be besimcha. But we just experienced Salachti Kidvarecha. So we have a clean slate. The neshama is clean. The neshama is pure. So you have simcha because Rebbeinu Shalom forgave our Averos. That is the second reason for simcha on Sukkos. Reason number 3. The Medrash tells us in Tanchuma that on Yom Kippur, Klal Yisrael and the nations of the world enter in judgment before Hashem. And we don't know who's going to win. Us or the nations of the world. It's like, the big match, the 2 titans, Jewish people against the nations of the world, and they're clashing. We don't know who's going to win. But Hashem says on Sukkot, you take your lulav and you proclaim, Zachisem Badin, we won the case. So therefore, Sukkot is a Zman Simchasenu, number 1, because we were victorious, we emerged victorious over the nations of the world. Number 2, there's an expression, Ein Simcha Kahataras Safek. right? Ein simcha ka'atar sasvekos. There's no joy like clarifying a dilemma you have. When somebody has like a problem and an issue, it weighs on them. When you have clarity, there's no happiness like clarifying a dilemma. So before Sukkot, we had a great dilemma. The dilemma was we don't know who's going to win. But now that we're clear on this issue, we could be happy. That's reason number 3 to be happy. We won the case. We're going to come to Shul tomorrow. We're going to wave the victory flag. We won. We beat the nations of the world. Okay? Number 4. This is somewhat inexplicable to me. The Maharil in Hilchos Sukkos writes that, you know why it's Man Simchasenu? Because they would light 4 menorahs in the Beis HaMikdash, and it would illuminate all of Yerushalayim. Now we know that light brings happiness, right? Depressed people go to dark restaurants. Why? They want to give charity to the restaurant owner because they can't even see the food, so they're not even enjoying it. So they feel the restaurant owner is worthy of their charity, so they go to the restaurant with it. They turn the lights off. They didn't know that the restaurant owner is serving them shrutzim, ramasim, if they're lucky. Anyway, but if there's light, there's happiness. Shalom bayis is for the light. Or chadash al tzion toyer. Light brings simcha. Okay. Number 5. Why is Sukkot man simcha? This is my favorite one. I never saw this before. This comes from the Sefer Shaul Bechir Hashem of Rav Shaul Brach. He says that every Yom Tov we have, the Goyim have hijacked it. Purim, they make Halloween. Pesach, they have Easter. Shavuos, they have something going on then also. But the only Yom Tov, Chanukah, v'hamei v'nyavin. The only Yom Tov that the nations of the world did not co-opt and did not copy is Sukkot. And tomorrow night we're going to explain possibly why this is the one Yom Tov that Hashgacha does not allow them to copy because they have no connection to, but because it's reserved for us, so therefore it's a special time. It's Zman Simcha Seinu. It's our time of joy. They were not able to mimic that Yom Tov. Number 6.
Palm Sunday, the shtickle.
What?
It seems like a shtickle ripoff on the lulav.
Yeah, the thing is, look, our lulavs cost $100. They could get it for $1, so it's not really,
Was it Palm Sunday?
Okay, they don't have anything from Morocco, from Egypt, Okay, number 6. There's a very big difference between Sukkot, Pesach, and Shavuos. Ma Rabbi say on Pesach, God took us out of Egypt. What did we do on our part to deserve that? We didn't do anything. It's a sarusa de la'ela. We didn't do anything. Hashem just had Rachmanas on us, and He came down. He said, even though you're Ero and Ve'eria, you're naked and bear mitzvahs, I'm going to rescue you. On Shavuos, it's like it was mutual. We prepared ourselves for Gabal Torah. We said Nasav and Ishma, and God came down on Har Sinai. But on Sukkot, it's all us. Why? Because why do we celebrate? My son, David, he's 5 years old. He asked a Gavaldiga Kasha. He asked, why do we sit in the sukkah in Tishrei if God took us out of Egypt in Mitzrayim, in Nisan? So he answered, based on the Gra, that we're not celebrating the fact that Hashem gave us Anani HaKavod. We're celebrating the fact that the Anani HaKavod returned after the Chet HaEgal. Why did that? Right, we know when the Jews sinned with the Egel, the Anani HaKavod left. And then we did Tshuva. You guys got to keep up with David. Let's go. Right? And then we did Tshuva.
I told him to ask you that.
Oh. All right. And then we did Tshuva, and we repented, and through our own efforts, we brought back the Shekhinah. So anything that you work on your own, something that's a freebie like Pesach or even Shavuos, which is like, it was on a curve, it was like the Hashem said, okay, you try a little bit and I'll meet you halfway. It's not as engendering of simcha. But when a person works hard on something, that's what engenders simcha, and that's why Sukkot is man simcha seinu.
With the sheep
is for the Sukkos.
Sukkos mamish.
Right.
Yeah. The Gra says we don't. Yeah, the Gra's whole mahalach is going the shita of Ananei HaKaveh. So that's the sixth reason why Sukkos is Zman Simchasenu more than any other Yom Tov. Number 7. Okay? Number 7 is like this. It's the only Yom Tov that we pour water on the Mizbeach. Every other Yom Tov we pour wine. And we know it says in Tehillim, Usha'avtem mayim b'sasayin. So there's an idea that the pouring of the water engenders simcha, and therefore Sukkot is Zman Simchasenu. Number 8. Pesach is Keneged, which Av? Abraham. Give the man a bagel. Shavuos is Keneged. Yitzchak. Yehuda Glatstein, very good. And Sukkot is Keneged? Yaakov Avinu. Of all the avos, which one is God happiest with? No kidding, yeah. But why? Why? So we say it in the davening. Rafael Yair, you remember this part from the davening? Aval anachnu amcha, b'nei vrisecha, matis, very good. B'nei Avraham, oyhavcha. Zera Yitzchak, yechidoi. Adas Yaakov b'chayrecha shemei ahavoscha she'ahavta isai umisimchasa shesamachta by karasa shema Yisrael v'Yisrael. We know God rejoices in Yaakov, and therefore since Sukkot is connected Yaakov Avinu, therefore it's man simchasenu. Number 9 and 10 are original. You ready? Number 9 is like this. We know that there's an idea. This is brought in the Hakdama, the Beis Halevi al Torah. This is brought in the Ber Heitev. This is a very known, well-known, well-documented concept, and that is so long as a person is a Rasha, the dark side, the forces of evil, the Sitra Achra, they come, they take away your mitzvahs. That's it. When a person's a Rasha, you could do a mitzvah, it fuels the dark side. Now that's a very frightening concept. The basic meaning is that so long as a person is a Rasha, a mitzvah's ability to illuminate and to influence a person l'kedusha is mitigated. So how do you ever get it back? When a person does tshuva, then the mitzvahs that you did previously that were not able to elevate you are returned to you, and they again illuminate and elevate your neshama. That's why at the end of Yom Kippur there's a bas kol. You know what the bas kol says? You know, Tosfos in Yuma brings that at the end of Yom Kippur a heavenly voice cries out, Lech echal besimcha es lachmecha ki kivar rotza Elokim es maasecha. Says Hashem Shmuel, at the end of Yom Kippur the bas kol says, now that you did tshuva, retroactively all the mitzvahs come back. So it's a time of great simcha. All the mitzvahs that a person did the whole year, all the tefillos, all the learning that perhaps lost a certain degree of luster because of Averos, now in the time of Sukkot, it could be also Zman Asifa. We're also gathering in all the mitzvahs that we did throughout the year. So it's a time of Simcha for that reason. And we're going to have a reason, but we're not going to count it because we want to have 10. And we like to have 10. But here's an 11th, that is, when you do Tshuva Me'ahava, then all your Averos turn into mitzvahs. Now, when do you do tshuva me'ahava? Sukkos, Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Ditchev says, is a zman of tshuva me'ahava. So imagine, now all the averos you did, let's say a person in a previous lifetime was looking at a phone in a shul, right? Or let's say they made a mistake and they went to a different place. So they looked at their phone. So then, now when you do tshuva on, when you do tshuva on Sukkos, the looking at the phone actually turns into a mitzvah. It's unbelievable. So you should do tshuva me'ahava. Yes, you should do tshuva me'ahava this way. Okay. What? Okay, here's number 10. Number 10 is like this. It says in Parshas Kisavai, V'haya kisavai el ha'aretz. V'haya. Ein v'haya el alashain simcha. So Meir Shapiro says, V'haya kisavai el ha'aretz. Going to Eretz Yisrael always brings simcha. V'ha'alinu l'simcha li'artzenu. you'll notice, anytime we talk about Eretz Yisrael, we always mention we go there b'simcha. Eretz Yisrael makes a person happy. Now what's the sukkah? The sukkah is the borders of Eretz Yisrael. The sukkah is basically a microcosm of the land of Israel. That is why sukkah is diras arai. Arai stands for the borders of Eretz Yisrael. Aleph is Ashkelon be'Daraim. Remember, first Mishnah Gittin? Rekem be'Mizrach. Akoy, and the Yud is Yam. Remember that? We told Rabbi Habertal in 7th grade. Remember that? What? Okay. But, so when we're going to the Sukkah, we're going into the land of Israel. That's why our Barbanel says we have 7 days of Sukkos, Keneged, the Shivas Haminim. Anyway, so these are 10 reasons to be happy on Sukkos. You ready? Here's the executive summary. Number 1, we bring in the grain. We're cashing in. It's the time of Asifa. Number 2, we're cleansed of the Averos. Number 3, we won the court case against the Umayis Ha'olam. Number 4, we light the menorah, 4 menorahs in Yerushalayim. Number 5, the Goyim were not able to mimic the Yom Tov of Sukkos. Number 6, it's Isarusa de Lasata. It's all our effort. Number 7, Nesach Hamayim is L'Shabta Mayim Nesasain. Number 8, it's the Yom Tov of Yaakov Avinu, and God rejoices in Yaakov. Number 9, we get back all our old mitzvahs. 9b, we transform our Averos into mitzvahs. And number 10, it's like going into Eretz Yisrael. So everyone should be Zoicha to the great Haftacha of the Hayisa Ach Sameach, says Abarbanel. If somebody rejoices on Sukkos, it's a Haftacha that one will be happy the whole year.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.